You've come quite close enough.
Throw as many of your
So passionately delivered, and yet so utterly incorrect. What you are witnessing is my saving of Arcadia. I'm not interested in what you've acquired by... Yes, I know well who you... You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing the... I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. No. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility... It was a modest success. I was able to buy the time to enact the very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information. Horizon. When the Matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us up. I cannot. In the she dissect, but it is as the Grand Architect designed.
Beware, Commander.
And were I within reach, I would strike down.
If you've a plan, I trust you to see it through. But I shall keep a...
It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know the mind of a true leader. This is the path Henry should have taken. Yes, of course we argued over methodology. Henry was always too stubborn, too focused on the past to understand the opportunity before him. I regret that he had to make such a difficult choice. That one of the Matriarch's heirs is not guiding us. But he needed to look beyond himself, like I am doing now. Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order. But can one truly call that a loss? The same can... Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. And once I provide for the needs of my subjects, I will have them forever. For every traitor in our midst, thousands of loyalists remain. And they promptly will be.
The Arbiters no longer support you, Consul. Those naive enough to retain some measure of trust shall no longer, once they learn of your actions here.
There. Was that so hard addressing your betters in a proper fashion? You'll note that all the brightest, most efficient Protectorate minds were assigned to the Sentinels, to ensure the history of Arcadia is not sullied. But the Arbiters, they've quite outlived their usefulness. Just one more thing I intend to fix. The people will understand in time. They only care that they are provided for. So you say, but you've yet... Though it matters not, you will not distract me from taking what is owed to us. I will not be lectured by an outsider. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims. Heresy!
I found her correspondence with the First Bishop. She explicitly said she feared the Arcadian experiment would end as all similar projects did before it, in a crumbling heap of hubris.
The Matriarch foresaw many things. To think that we were not set apart from less... It is humbling. And it appears we have fallen prey to the very thing she warned of. Yes, we have established, but regardless of how I may have misstepped before, I am not in the wrong.
You allow your resolve to be shaken when millions lie dead? If I had not traveled with the commander, I would attempt to slay you on the spot. Instead, I shall appeal to any lingering remnant of your honor to do...
Do not speak to me as though I must be punished. And you claimed so boldly that this plan of mine would fail. So, where is it? Bah, a report. The abstract means little when compared to reality. Look outside. Is it failing now? That's not true. Despite how things appear at present, with time, this station, all of Arcadia, and all of it... Yes, well, I find that man's attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale. But if he's correct, as he quite typically is, I don't understand. Surely every step leading to this moment was in accordance to the grand plan. All the pieces fit. Either I... or this is merely a conspiracy to mislead us. And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only claim. If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history. It is better that we perish together as proud protectorate. Proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. As our...
Your curtain fall, Commander. I've no time to
You've got to get to the help. If these readings are right, the rift's about to destabilize completely. This modulator ain't gonna do from this distance. Someone will have to fly it in close. Real close. You did the best you could.
No need to belabor this. I will fly the ship, Back on Greater Tranquility, you wish to give me a chance to atone for my mistake.
Our damnation and salvation all in one. I'll never understand you, Augustine, but in spite of everything, I wouldn't take back our having met.
One who chooses not to die needlessly. But if you are set on this, I would still join you.
I'd say Augustine's got this covered, but I've made that mistake before. It's been a privilege serving with you, Commander.
Don't read so much into it, Commander.
You've made an impossibly difficult decision, Commander. All that remains is that someone must take those schematics. With them in tow, we shall be able to use the processed rift data to create modulators that can be utilized at a safe distance. This shall spell the end of Arcadia's rift plague.
I will.
Salvation awaits, Commander. I'm itching to reach it.
And so, in the end, the commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Augustine de Vries went along, knowing nothing would make up for her actions. But at least she'd not have to live with her guilt any longer. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the Protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep, at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Inez's convincing appeals to the press earned her clout in reforming Auntie's Choice's cruel grafting program. Yet it was a constant struggle, rife with red tape and pushback from program executives. This was Inez's new battle, one she would fight for the rest of her life. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. After Aza disbanded the Glorious Dawn, its members quietly tried to resume lives forever disrupted by the Arcadian conflict. As the cult's murderous legacy faded, average colonist life expectancy increased by 0.23%. Forced to think for themselves after a lifetime of luxurious certainty, Protectorate hardliners banded together to preserve their society. Without the Order or the corporatists controlling Arcadia, they had a real chance at making a comeback. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. With unfettered access to skip drives, and its reputation untarnished by its still secret agreement with the Protectorate, the Earth Directorate became what it was always meant to be, the ultimate authority in Arcadia. The colony served as a base to expand the agency's reach across the galaxy. The release of the skip drive schematics to the public domain resulted in new and exciting opportunities for independent manufacturers. However, unchecked use of the drives would ultimately lead to an even greater proliferation of rifts, once again imperiling the galaxy. It was once again up to the Earth Directorate to swoop in and save the day, stamping out rifts as soon as they flared into existence. Eventually, and in textbook fashion, they solved this second rift crisis, but not before much damage had been done. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.